All right,
news.
Darvin Ham has been fired. Let's bring in Rick Bucher again. Bucher's sitting there. I want to get lunch. I want to stretch out. We're like, no.
Work out. Yeah, I had all kinds of plans. So much for that.
So what's the line? This is the 8th coach in 14 years.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out how many coaches has LeBron had now. There was
7, I think 7 or 8.
Yeah, because there was. I feel like I'm missing one in Cleveland. There was Paul Silas. There was David Blatt. Yeah. There was Ty Lue. Then Spo. There's Luke Walton in L.A. Anyway,
Darvin Ham.
I think you could get to 10 before he's done. The way we're going.
Well, you are J-Mac had mentioned this earlier. I don't see you as this, but apparently Laker fans see you as tough on LeBron.
Yes. Yeah. I have high expectations for him based on where we place him in the hierarchy of NBA players and what he's accomplished.
So is he hard to coach?
Hard to coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a challenge. It's without question.
Because he wants to sub himself in and out,
well, it's not just subbing himself in and out, but you to take advantage of LeBron and what he does, you have to make your team LeBron-centric.
Yeah, he very much, you said this yesterday, LeBron teams he's the ecosystem.
Yes.
Kevin Durant will come and get buckets.
Yes, and when he was winning you championships.
That was worth it.
Then you, without question, what do I need to do? What do you need, LeBron? I'm good with all that. Now, the problem that I have is that when it doesn't work, like when they don't win a championship or he doesn't win a championship, now it's everybody else's fault. It's like, no, we're catering to you. It's a little bit like Giannis in Milwaukee. Like, we're catering to you. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to blame other people. We did what you asked us to do. We got you who you wanted to get. Like, so, and there's nothing wrong with failing. It's just abdicating the responsibility of that. And so this is another case where I just look at their roster and I look where LeBron is in his career. And Darvin Ham by no means was perfect in the job that he did, but you're not going to find somebody who's going to fix this roster, this group with a 39-year-old LeBron James as your closer still and win a championship. That's just not realistic.
So J-Mac said, is it a good job? And I said, well, if you're looking at it from 30,000 feet, LeBron's not playing 71 games again. And Anthony Davis has had a 1.5-year stretch where he hasn't been hurt.
Yeah.
The odds are telling you that's going to deteriorate.
100. Yes. Yeah. It's not going to get better. And you're going to be left holding the bag. So,
and also, they're going to get a third star. It could be a player that coaches struggle with, Trae Young.
Yeah, and I don't see how that. You can't just acquire him. You're going to have to trade pieces out to get him. And I don't know that Trae changes the equation. I don't know that he moves the needle for you in terms of where you need to go. Defensively, they had issues. They had issues particularly defensively on the perimeter. Trae Young certainly doesn't help you in that regard. So I do not see a coach coming in and solving this. Darvin Ham wasn't the reason. I could make as strong a case that Darvin Ham was the reason that they actually got to the playoffs. If you look at the teams, the similar teams, Golden State didn't get there. Right?
Yeah.
The Lakers did. Those two rosters, to me, are pretty comparable in the challenges that they have.
Yeah, age and injuries.
Yes. So they made their run. They got there, and then they came up against the defending champs who have your number and have the matchups.
I would argue Golden State has more overall talent.
But they had issues this year that were difficult to overcome. And so,
I mean, Draymond, Steph.
Okay, but that's even more reason to say.
That's what I'm saying.
The Lakers made it and the Warriors didn't.
That's what I'm saying. My takeaway is, I like, if you gave me both rosters, I'd take the Warriors.
Right. So look. Obviously, there's been talk about Ty Lue. I heard you guys discussing that. The one element that you didn't mention is the fact that they lowballed Ty Lue the last time they went after him.
Who did?
The Lakers did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They lowballed him, and they made an offer, and he was like, "That's not good enough." And they said, "Well, we're not going to do better than that."
And Ballmer came in and doubled.
And Ballmer paid him, and Phoenix would do the same if they ultimately make a change.
They would go Ty Lue?
They would go. I could see them going Ty Lue.
He's good.
My understanding is that he's on their list if they make a change.
Well, Ty Lue's very good with dysfunction.
He's good with coaching stars too.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
do you call the Lakers dysfunctional? The Clippers are dysfunctional. Suns felt dysfunctional.
No, I would not call them dysfunctional. I just think they're impaired. I just don't think they're a great team. And the expectations are always in Lakerville that they're supposed to be great. And with LeBron, you're supposed to play for a title. And AD's healthy, so you're supposed to play for a title. And as we know, when we look at teams, first of all, the West just being stacked, young and coming, it's not realistic. It's not a realistic expectation. And I don't want to be a coach walking in to a situation that I don't have full control over.
Okay. And
that has unrealistic expectations.
Okay, so let's take Ty Lue out of it. I'm going to give you these names.
Okay.
Kenny Atkinson, J.J. Redick.
Yep.
What was the other one, J-Mac? Mike Budenholzer. Which one would you take?
Well, for entertainment purposes,
J.J. Redick.
Me personally, I'm taking J.J. Redick. Please give me J.J. Redick.
I think I'd probably go Atkinson. Didn't they love him in Brooklyn? They love him in Golden State.
He's very much an analytics guy. Budenholzer and Atkinson are very different in their approach. I would say because of Bud's experience working with Giannis.
But Giannis got tired of him.
I'd lean that direction. Yeah, well, look, you're finding a coach for the next year or two with LeBron.
That's embarrassing.
And then you're moving on anyway.
So the argument I've made is that I even think guys like Kenny Atkinson would go, you're not going to give me $3 million. Because remember, Jeannie Buss is one of the poorest owners. Yeah. She's not paying $7 for a coach and Darvin Ham's last 2 years.
Yeah, and if I'm Kenny Atkinson, a better job will come. I need that next job to be better, like put me in a better situation.
It's almost like the Yankee job with Aaron Boone. You think to yourself, oh, it's the Yankee job. But when you had Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judd, before you had Garrett Cole, you're like, it's not a World Series roster. Houston is, Atlanta is. But you think it's a great job. When Brian Kelly took over Notre Dame, it's Notre Dame. Very many good players. Yeah. Now Notre Dame was a good job because Kelly recruited him. So the Lakers' job, the brand makes you believe. It's not necessarily a great. Your two best players, one is historically brittle, and one's in year 22.
Yeah, and you need the authority when you walk into that locker room of having a ring behind you, because there are guys who do have a ring in that locker room. If you're Kenny Atkinson, you don't walk in with that. Bud does walk in with that.
J.J. Redick lived here. He's got some L.A. feels. I think he moved to Austin, Texas, or something at one point. But he's done some L.A. stuff. He'd take the gig in a second.
I think he's based in New York now.
But if he's doing a pod with LeBron, he's got to be in L.A. sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, please give me that.
Is there any chance?
Yeah.
That LeBron would leave if they don't hire who he wants?
No, he's not leaving, but they're not hiring somebody he doesn't want.
So that means it's J.J. Redick or?
He would want Ty Lue.
Yeah, but he's not going to get
I just don't think he can get Ty Lue.
Ballmer's not going to be embarrassed going into his new arena.
And he's not going to give up Ty Lue to the Lakers. He's not going to give the Lakers what they want. That's not happening. And again, I would go back to, and I don't know how Ty feels about this, but do you, for all things considered, the Lakers' job, I don't know that the Lakers' job is something that anybody really wants at this point.
That's what I'm saying. I think Kenny Atkinson, I don't know Kenny, but I could look at it and think, year 22 for LeBron. They're on their 8th coach.
Yeah. I mean, I'm drawing a blank in terms of who they went after, but I don't recall that Darvin was necessarily their first.
Well, he was Charlotte wanted him, and the Lakers hired him. There wasn't a big list for him.
Yeah.
And the knock was he's a rookie head coach with LeBron.
Yeah,
I think he's been fine. I think there's some substitution patterns that are wacky.
But this is, I mean, you think it's going to, the idea that because J.J. Redick sounds intelligent on a podcast, that he's going to make like in-game decisions that are going to be perfect. Look, Kevin Durant wanted Steve Nash.
Who did?
Steve Nash is one of the most cerebral.
Who wanted him?
Kevin Durant.
Oh, no, and that didn't work at all.
In Brooklyn.
Well, it didn't work initially. He got better.
But it didn't work.
Yeah.
It ultimately did not work. And so, again, that's why it's not because I don't want to see it not work.
You know what's funny about that? I think I can tell this story now. Steve Nash took that job.
Yeah. And
let's just say, sources tell me that he wanted to be fired at the end.
And I believe
he was like, according to sources, this is no fun.
Yeah.
Let me go back to Manhattan Beach and surf.
You know who else feels that way?
Who?
Darvin Ham. Some of the things that he said in the last few weeks indicates to me
he's over it.
He's like, I'm okay with that. I'd like to continue to coach, but if I'm not, I'm in a no-win situation.
I'm always a little jealous of people who get fired and get that parachute.
Yeah.
And it's like,
which he has.
When's the last time you took a month off?
A month? I think he's got like at least a year or two at $5 million per. Like,
a little jelly.
Sign me up for that.
A little jelly on that. All right. Rick Bucher, good stuff. Good seeing you. Thanks again.
Same.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.